going on YouTube? It's Antonio Wright, Fitnesssocialist. As you can see, repping the Nationals hat. Yeah, they doing real good this year. Um, anyway, in this short video, I am going to talk about briefly, because this topic it can take hours. Briefly, I'm going to talk about nutrition. What I'm going to talk about in this video, which is going to be part one of possibly a 3 series, is the basics. So we're going to start with macronutrients, or macros for short. Macros stand for protein, carbs, and fat. In my opinion, you need all 3. Well, obviously, for your body to function, you're going to need all 3 to get to where you to basically live. Now, the key is that manipulation of, whether you want to bulk or if you want to get cut, or other words, lose weight, lose body fat, which is probably the majority, like 99% of the people out there. That's where the manipulation of those macros, of the protein, carbs, and fats come into play. Quite honestly, people make this whole issue way too complicated, in my opinion, and they do it for 1 to 2 reasons. One, a lot of people make it complicated so you can hire their services, which is fine. Some people don't want to. They don't want to have to go through the nonsense, so they hire a coach, and if the coach is good, the coach will work with them and get them on their goals. 2, people make this complicated so they can sound like they're smart. It's like building a park bench. You can only build it so many times, so many ways. But people take this nutrition thing and take it to the utmost level, trying to make it all complicated when it actually is not. You just track your macros, you track your calories, or which in a way, tracking your macros and tracking your calories are one and the same, and you go from there. I get a lot of questions regarding what my current macros is during my cut, and I'll explain that in part 2 of this video. But if anybody out there is trying to determine what their macros should be, I'm going to say first and foremost is that you're not going to get it on the first try. You're going to have a lot of trial and error, and you're going to have patience, because it's a long, hard road. It's gonna take a while. You're gonna at least need a couple weeks to a month, can even be 2 to 3 months until you're able to find those correct macros for you. I can give you my baseline macros of 50 grams of fat, 225 grams of carbs, and 180 grams of protein, during my cut. You can go in and apply that, but that might not work for you. It's currently working for me, but it may not work for you. It works for me, it may not work for you. See what I'm saying? We're all different bodies. There's so many different variables. You just got to find out what works for you. What I would suggest, if you're trying to create a baseline, set of macros, is to, always start with protein. The general consensus is start with 1 gram of body weight. If you're severely obese, try to find your lean body mass, or focus on your lean body mass. Let's just say you weigh 300 pounds. Do not consume 300 grams of protein unless you're freaking Ronnie Coleman. But if you're weighing 300 pounds and you got like 40% body fat, do not do 1 gram per pound of weight. No. In that case, you can drop down to something like 200 grams. You have a lot of body fat to lose, so you can safely be in a deficit for a long time. If you're an average guy, looking to get cut up, start off with about a gram of a gram of protein per pound of weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, 200 grams of protein. Fats, depending on what type of dieting it is, you could be doing a ketosis type diet, which uses fats instead of carbohydrates. So you can do a standard diet. Personally, I've tried both, and right now I'm approaching the level of leanness that I'm almost at the lowest level of body fat that I've ever been, and this is considered I'm consuming a fair bit amount of carbs. Unfortunately, this camera's not detailed enough, but I mean, you can't say I have visible serratus. I mean, I can see freaking veins on the sides here. I mean, it's crazy. But anyway, if you want to focus on fats, personally, I'm around 50 to 60 grams of fat a day. The general consensus from what I've seen is around 0.35 to 0.45 grams per pound of body weight. So that usually puts you around 60 to 70 grams per day. And then for carbs, you can do a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you have 200 grams of protein, you have 200 grams of carbs. People be like, oh my God, 200 grams of carbs, that's a lot. Well, just add it up. Add it up and see where you at. 200 grams for every gram of protein is 4 calories. For every gram of carb is 4 calories. For every gram of fat is 9 calories. So, you do the math. Let's just say your macros was 200 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, 50 grams of fat. Add that up. My math is kind of sketchy, but I think that's around about 2,200 calories, which is nothing. If you factor in activity level, you're doing cardio, you're going to cut weight on that. You're going to cut some body fat on that. For a lot of people out there, that may be too low calories. They may even cut some muscle. So, you gotta stop fearing carbs. Carbs is not the enemy here. I used to be one of those low carb, oh my God, carbs are going to make me fat. Nah, man. Don't make you fat. What makes you fat is consuming more calories than you consume. That can come from extra protein, it can come from extra fat, it can come from carbs. So, recap. Your macros, which stand for macronutrients, is protein. 1 gram is 4 calories. Carbs, 1 gram is 4 calories. Fat, 1 gram is 9 calories. If you're setting up a baseline, I like to do a 1-to-1 ratio. So that would be, depending on your body fat. If you're obese, don't do this. You want to do 1 gram per pound of body weight if you're at a normal weight, average size. If you're obese, you want to do 1 gram per pound of lean body mass. There are a lot of calculators online that can help you guess your lean body mass. Keep your carbs at that 1-to-1 ratio. So if you have 200 grams of protein, you have 200 grams of carbs. Keeps your fats around 50 to 70 grams range. And then there you go. Part 2, I'm going to discuss, having macros for cutting, and, even dive into a little bit of carb cycling, having low days and high carb days. All right, guys. Once again, Fitness Socialist. You know the drill. Like this, tweet this, pass it along. Man, if you got any questions, if any of y'all got any questions, please do not hesitate to send them to fitnesssocialist@gmail.com, or you can drop them in the comment section here, or you can message me. I'm here to help. So, that's it. Peace.